Morning, all. All right. So we're going to start with the news at the bottom of the board. Rasmus Ristolainen is now a member of the Flyers. I'm wearing Buffalo gear because I like what Buffalo got for him. So they get back Robert Haig. So they get a defenseman, four defensemen. Plus, they get the number 13 pick tonight. So if you were a Flyers fan and you're like, man, I can't wait to watch the draft, you could wait till tomorrow. And then the 2023 second round pick is the other rumored pick, according to Kevin Weeks, who broke the story. Kevin Weeks was the first one I saw that reported it, so credit where credit's due on that. Ristolainen, I like him, but I think this is a lot that Philadelphia paid. So first they paid to get rid of Gostisbehere's contract. Now they get Ristolainen back. So the money ends up being about even with Haig going out as well. But boy, they've given up a lot of future assets in draft picks today and yesterday. So we'll see how that works out. We'll see how Ristolainen fits into Philadelphia's system. And again, to me, it feels like they paid a heavy price. And when I saw this, I went, I am glad it's not Vancouver because it would have been the number 9 pick. And there are rumors that the Canucks are very open to moving the number 9 pick. Remember, this year's draft isn't seen as being stellar, so don't be surprised if we see a lot of picks get moved. Don't be entirely surprised if you see teams moving picks around to get extra picks later, more often than usual. So yeah, that's where we're at. Tony DeAngelo is on unconditional waivers. The unconditional part meaning that they're buying out the contract. So his contract is being bought out. And also, the Rangers are one of those teams that there's rumors about whether or not they're going to move their draft pick. They are open to moving the number 15 pick if they're able to improve their roster elsewhere. So the deals are out there. Also, San Jose, Lean Bergman, I can only assume that they signed the guys with the last names beginning with B, realized they forgot Bergman, and went, all right, well, so he's on unconditional waivers for the purpose of a buyout. Bergman didn't play a lot for San Jose, so 22 years of age, young enough he can come back and have an NHL career at a later date, but San Jose is buying him out, and there will be other buyouts that come out over the next few days as well. And again, this means that Seattle on the 28th could say, all right, so Lean Bergman, well, we'll pick him up for a depth guy. We'll see what happens, right, with some of these players who are either going to be bought out or not qualified. The Carolina Hurricanes. So here's the thing with the Hurricanes. So they didn't have the faith in Nedeljkovic. They are talking to both Mrazek and Bernier, trying to get Mrazek and Bernier to sign contracts. Reimer's going to go to market on Wednesday, and then there's a belief as well that there may be goaltenders available on Wednesday that can help Carolina out. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. I'm honestly kind of surprised they don't have Bernier signed already. If you're going to trade for Bernier's rights, I would think first you'd go to Steve Yzerman and say, hey, so can we talk to him? I don't know that happened. And when Yzerman was asked, why was Nedeljkovic available, his answer was basically, yeah, you'd have to ask them. No idea. Just take him and run kind of thing, right? So yeah, so Carolina's working on signing a couple of goaltenders because they don't have an NHL level goaltender under a contract right now. It was just Nedeljkovic, so they got rid of him. But yeah, we'll see how this turns out for them. Jack Eichel has been skating recently, and he's training. And so this is good for Buffalo. This increases his trade value. And with Ristolainen on his way out, what's trending on Twitter right now? Reinhart. Because people are going to see this Ristolainen deal and go, all right, so Sam Reinhart's up next, is up next, right? Maybe Buffalo makes a huge splash at the draft today. And here it is, right on the board before the trade was made, that they were looking to add another first-round pick. And they just did. But they're looking at adding multiple first-round picks. Buffalo wants to come out of this draft with multiple top prospects. And I think a lot of this has to do with, hey, we're going to bring this out to the fans and show them here's the new blood we're going to bring in, right? So, yeah, they're looking to add more. So I don't think this necessarily means they're done trying to add first-round picks. If they can add others, and I'm looking at you, Vancouver, it's possible. And, of course, Canuck fans have been fantasy booking the trade of Reinhart to Vancouver. I always like the fantasy trade part of things where people are like, okay, so we'll give them this and this and this for this player. And it's almost always an underpayment, although sometimes it's a vast overpayment. So, yeah, I don't know where I would ballpark a Sam Reinhart deal, but I don't think he ends up in Vancouver, but we'll see, right? Yeah, because Buffalo's looking to make trades and Vancouver's looking to make trades. The interesting thing, too, is that Jim Benning's looking at freeing up some money. They're still talking about that, and I don't know how he's going to do that. He's got 5 days to do that. So either it's going to be through buyouts, which an owner would be perfectly justified in saying, well, why am I spending that amount of money to buy out your bad contract? It leads to a lot of questions. But yeah, I think there's a lot that's potentially out there, but the price is high. Look at the price Philadelphia paid to get rid of Ghost. Look at the price the Islanders paid to get rid of Ladd. If you're going to move bad money or a bad contract or a guy who just doesn't fit in, teams are going to make you pay for that. Also on the trade block right now is Tyler Johnson, which will surprise no one, of course. Johnson has been asked to submit his approved trade destinations. He's got a no-trade clause where he submits 22 teams that he's willing to go to. Apparently that's been submitted. 22 teams gives Tampa plenty of options to reach out to. You have to think Seattle's likely on that list, and that Ron Francis has probably had a phone call. So if they can acquire Tyler Johnson, and they already have Yanni Gourde, depending on them keeping Yanni Gourde, there's some reason to think Seattle might have a half-decent attack they can put together there. But we'll see. Seattle has been quiet so far today, but the day is still young. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding the Rasmus Ristolainen deal. Does Buffalo win this trade? I think they do. Because, again, I think a first and a future second-round pick and Robert Haig isn't too bad for Ristolainen. But let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. And remember, the live stream is today. I set it for 4:35 today. And then we'll have a live stream tomorrow morning as well for rounds 2 through 7. So stay tuned for all that. I will talk to you again soon.